Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. It's supposed to be live right now. Just my mic was muted. Just open up your my channel. And that should do it. Did you figure it out? Oh, hi, Mike. I got Mikey. I got Mikey. Yeah. I don't know why that doesn't disappear. I don't know. I got issues. How many views? What? 1,800 or something. It was just lucky. Hi, Jasper. I've got technical issues here. I'm trying to fix my software. Hello, Allison. Pomney. Pomney. That's an interesting name. Hi, Pomney. And Mikey. And now it's doubling up again. Is it double? Yes, it's doubling up again. Why is that? My chat is. I'm having trouble with the chat system here, so I do appreciate your patience with me. I'm trying to get this together. And I have my awesome, like my daughter, in the other room. Did you send me a text?
Oh, you're on two?
Oh no, that's not how it shows. It shows like this.
Yeah, look at how it shows on his.
Oh.
Yeah. The only thing that's like doubling up is the chat, but that's not like a bad
Oh. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks good.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Super.
So,
Okay.
like,
See
yeah,
how
it looks
mine's
like that.
doubling up?
Yeah, like that.
Oh yeah.
So all you'd have to get rid of is the bottom chat part for on your part.
Oh yeah, no, he's set up, dude.
Yeah, I'm jealous of this setup. I need one of these in my house.
Yeah, no, this is the new software that I got from Restream, and a lot of people use OBS.
Mhm.
This is Restream, and then there's other Yard Stream and I don't know, River Stream, and there's all kinds of different other,
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is probably get rid of that.
get rid of that thing, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like that.
Yeah, there you go. And then would just keep the chat for all of them like normal.
Do you think that would solve the problem?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, and it also got rid of it for me too.
Yeah. Let's see.
Which looks like it's still doubling.
There it goes. Yeah.
What did you do?
It just got rid of the bottom chat part, so now it's just the normal.
Oh,
YouTube chat.
okay. Oh, great.
There you go.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah, easy peasy.
The doctor's in the house. Thank you very much. Thanks for the help. Okay, I'm still here. Bless you too, Pony. Bless you. No problem. Oh, thanks, Allison. Thanks for your patience. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just goofing here tonight, I guess, trying to keep things rolling. And yeah, you know how it is. Get a piece of new software. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No.
Sorry I couldn't help.
No, you're good. You're good. Everybody's good. Thanks again. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Take care. Good luck if I don't see you before you get your
Oh, you'll see.
degree.
Yeah, I'll probably be back. I'm back. I used to live in Orlando, so I wasn't there. Yeah. Now I'm back eventually.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's okay. Okay. It's all coming together now.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too.
All right. Oh, that was nice. Nice. Okay. Oh, that was cool. What happened? I step out and the room goes white. Man, that's interesting. Okay. Well, I don't have the lights on in the back either, but so I guess it was overexposed. Whatever. Have you ever been overexposed? Many times. I've been overexposed. Okay. So, yeah, welcome to Aware and Convinced. And I don't know if you're familiar with this channel at all, but what we do is talk a little bit about addiction and recovery, and if you're having issues, drugs, alcohol, or whatever, any addiction really, yeah, we can chat about it, talk about it. If you have any questions, concerns, I might be able to help you, at least point you in the right direction. At least that's what I try to do anyway. So we stick around here for a while, and I do appreciate y'all coming in this evening. It's evening here, East Coast time, 9:43. Oh gosh, it's getting late. You know, for an old guy, it's past my bedtime, right? Just kidding. Yeah, those days of staying up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, those days are long gone. Yeah. Trying to figure out which way is up. Those days are long gone. Thank God. So I got to send a message back here. I think the problem is solved, but I'm not sure how. I'll get back to you. Any questions? Thanks. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how. Oh, that's the AI that was doing that? Wow. It's almost human. Yeah, AI is on the way. Yep. So anyway, we do talk a little bit about recovery and addiction, and we talk about the big book and NA, and we also have the Celebrate Recovery Study Bible, which is good. That's where I'm going now. I went to AA for years, got sober in AA, and then I started going to a local church, and they have Celebrate Recovery on Tuesday nights, and that's great. I really enjoy it. So I gave it a little switch up, doing Celebrate Recovery now. Great people, good time, good time. Very a lot of community. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Community. A lot of caring people, which is excellent. Excellent. So what else is new out there in the big old world? So if you're from another country, well, I'm glad you are. I hope everything's going well in your particular country. I'd like to know where you're from. Anyway, so just jot that in the chat. If you're not, if you're from USA, that's great. Of course, it's great. But if you're from another faraway land, just let me know. Love to talk to you anyhow. Doesn't matter where you're from. You could be from Mars, and you're more than welcome here. So it's been an interesting evening so far. Did talk a little bit from the big book of AA, which I started to look at last night. Well, I didn't just start. I mean, I looked at the big book for a long time, but I thought I would share it. Pardon me. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn this off so I don't cough. In your ear. Cafe ole. Iced coffee. That's my addiction right there. Iced coffee. Hot coffee's good too. Hot coffee in the morning, iced coffee in the evening. All right. Let's see. Where the heck are we here? Okay, so I think we got that issue taken care of. Boy, I'm so glad. I didn't really understand why that was an issue. They don't really. I don't know. Maybe I missed that in the memo. Probably did, but I'm glad it's fixed now anyway, because that was getting to be a pain in the butt. I wonder if I could get it over here. How did I do? I don't even know how I did it now. Oh boy. Now I'm really confused. If I bring it back. Oh, okay. So I can do this over here. All right. Okay. Oh, maybe that'll work. Maybe that will work. Okay. Oh, and that was the button that I had. All right. Now I see what I did wrong. Yep. Okay, so that's fixed. That's fixed. That's good. Now I got to fix this thing here. Edit. Edit. No, don't want to edit. Let's see. That is. What the heck is that? Customize. Customize. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Wow, that scared me. All right. See what happens? You get new software in your computer. You got to play with it a little bit, and then and then it works. All right. So now that I completely destroyed my evening, oh my goodness. Well, I do thank you for hanging in there with me. Yeah, if you have any questions or want to talk about recovery at all, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to chit chat with you about it. It's important. It's important to you. It's important to you, not so much to me, but it's important to you because, especially if you're a younger person, then you got to start to get this thing under control now, right? Get your life under control. And there's several ways you can do that, right? If you're having a problem with drugs or alcohol, now's the time to do something about it. Don't wait till you're 60, 61. That's what I did. I waited till I was 61. Then I decided to get sober. It should have been 40 years earlier. All right, 30 years earlier. Actually, it should have been 40 years earlier, but anyway, that was God's plan. God had a different plan. He said, you're going to get sober after a while. You'll figure it out. And I did, with a lot of help. A lot of help. And a 12-step program, of course, from AA and NA. And all the treatment centers, well, not all, I should say all, most of the treatment centers, the vast majority, incorporate the 12-step program in their treatments. If you go to a rehab, if you've ever been to a rehab, they do. Or maybe you haven't been yet. Maybe that'll be your next step. Because you got to take some steps if you think you have a problem. If you cross that line, and I crossed it a couple of times, but I got one of those, very hard heads. But finally did get it. I'm glad you're on board with me now. Welcome aboard. Come on in, sit down, relax. Yep. So that is cool. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Okay, that's better. Okay. I didn't need that because I got my logo up there anyway. So, yeah, very cool. Okay. Trying to get that fixed, get this fixed. Now you get the brain fixed, get this fixed. I'll be in good shape. Well, God has blessed me with good health and a clearing brain. Just takes a little while to get cleaned up. There is a solution. Chapter 2 of the Big Book of AA. There is a solution. There is a solution. The ex-alcoholic who's found this solution, who is properly armed with facts about himself or herself, can generally win the entire confidence of another alcoholic, addict, doesn't matter, in a few hours. Until such an understanding is reached, little or nothing can be accomplished. So you've got to be aware that you've got an issue. That the man who is making the approach has had the same difficulty, that he obviously knows what he's talking about, that his whole deportment shouts at the new prospect that he is a man with a real answer. He has no attitude of holier than thou, nothing whatever except the sincere desire to be helpful. That there are no fees to pay, no axes to grind, no people to please, no lectures to be endured. These are the conditions we found most effective. After such an approach, many take up their beds. Take up their beds? Well, I guess that's the old way of saying they get out of bed and they walk again. Yeah, nothing against the AA Big Book. They could go through it and update some of the terminology. But other than that, all the facts are in it. And here's the bottom line. If we keep on the way we're going, there's little doubt that much good will result, but the surface of the problem would hardly be scratched. Those of us who live in large cities are overcome by the reflection that close by hundreds are dropping into oblivion every day. Yeah, you see that in Cali, right? Sleeping on the street, totally drugged out on the street, on the sidewalk. Wow, it's a shame. Hundreds are dropping into oblivion every day. Many could recover if they had the opportunity we have enjoyed. How then shall we present that which has been so freely given us? Yeah. Yeah. True. That's why I'm here, I guess. That's why I'm here. Try to pass on a little bit of information. Anyway. Oh, where did that go? I guess I could put that here. Yep. Yeah, that's good. I don't know why he had that on. He had that on his screen. This guy. I don't know. Well, anyway. So here it is, all about the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. We have concluded to publish an anonymous volume setting forth the problem as we see it, We shall bring to the task our combined experience and knowledge. This should suggest a useful program for anyone concerned with a drinking or drugging problem as we see it. Of necessity, there will have to be discussion of matters medical, psychiatric, social, and religious. We're aware that these matters are, from their very nature, controversial. Nothing would please us so much as to write a book which would contain no basis for contention or argument. We shall do our utmost to achieve that ideal. Most of us sense that the real tolerance of other people's shortcomings and viewpoints and a respect for their opinions are attitudes which make us more useful to others. Our very lives as ex-alcoholics / addicts depend upon our constant thought of others and how we may help meet their needs. That's the important thing, right? Their needs. He doesn't say help meet our needs. He says their needs. You may already have asked yourself why it is that all of us become so very ill from drinking and drugging. Doubtless you're curious to discover how and why, in the face of expert opinion to the contrary, we have recovered from a hopeless condition of mind and body. If you're an alcoholic, addict, who wants to get over it, you may already be asking, what do I have to do? It is the purpose of this book, the big book of AA, to answer such questions specifically. We shall tell you what we have done. Before going into a detailed discussion, it may be well to summarize some points as we see them. How many times people have said to us, I can take it or leave it alone. Why can't he? Why don't you drink like a gentleman or a gentle lady? Or quit? That fellow can't handle his liquor. Why don't you try beer and wine? Lay off the hard stuff. His willpower must be weak. Oh, they got a whole lot of those. The doctor told him that if he ever drank or drugged again, it would kill him. But there he is. He's at it again. Yeah, I've been there, done that. Now, these are commonplace observation on drinkers, druggers, which we hear all the time. Back of them is a world of ignorance and misunderstanding. We see that these expressions refer to people whose reactions are very different from ours. Isn't that the truth? If you're an addict, alcohol, drugs, whatever, your thinking is a lot different than most people. Moderate drinkers have little trouble in giving up liquor entirely if they have good reason for it. They can take it or leave it alone. Then we have the hard drinker. He may have the habit badly enough to gradually impair him physically and mentally. It may cause him to die a few years before his time. If a sufficiently strong reason, ill health, falling in love, change of environment, or warning of a doctor becomes operative, this man can also stop or moderate. Although he may find it difficult and troublesome, he may even need medical attention. Medical attention, I think they mean treatment center now. But what about the real alcoholic / drug addict? He may start off as a moderate drinker, user. He may or may not become a continuous hard drinker, user. But at some stage of his drinking or drugging career, he begins to lose all control. Yep. That's what happens. Loss of control. Okay, and of course they're talking a lot of liquor here. Here's a fellow who's been puzzling you, especially in his lack of control. He does absurd, incredible, tragic things while drinking. He's a real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's a great story. Was that Jules Verne wrote that? Who wrote that? Jekyll. Who wrote that? Who wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Oh, Robert Louis Stevenson. Oh. Oh, he wrote that. Okay, Robert Louis Stevenson. How about that? Treasure Island, he wrote that. Okay. All right. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh. Wow. Robert Louis Stevenson. What a guy. So, where was I? He's seldom mildly intoxicated. He's always more or less insanely drunk. His disposition while drinking resembles his normal nature but little. He may be one of the finest fellows in the world, yet let him drink for a day and he frequently becomes disgustingly and even dangerously antisocial. He has a positive genius for getting tight. That's a term I haven't heard in years. Getting tight at exactly the wrong moment. Getting drunk, in other words, at exactly the wrong moment, particularly when some important decision must be made or engagement kept. He's often perfectly sensible and well-balanced concerning everything except liquor. But in that respect, he's incredibly dishonest and selfish. Yeah, that happens when you're a drinker or drugger. And I say this from experience, too. You become incredibly self-centered, dishonest, and selfish. Is that like shellfish? No. Yep. He often possesses special abilities, skills, and aptitudes, and has a promising career ahead of him. He uses his gifts to build up a bright outlook for his family and himself, and then pulls the structure down on his head by a senseless series of drinking or drugging. That's exactly what I did. Exactly. I'll tell you that story on another stream. I think I tell that story in my videos on the channel. One of the first videos. And you can check that out. Yeah, live that one. Live that one. Pulls the structure down on his head by a senseless series of using drinking or drugging. Doesn't matter, whatever your favorite flavor is. He's the fellow who goes to bed so intoxicated he ought to sleep the clock around, yet early next morning he searches madly for the bottle he misplaced the night before. If he can afford it, he may have liquor concealed all over his house. Or drugs. Yep. I know somebody that did that intimately. And it's that's a real problem if you're alcoholic, addict, because it says if you can afford it. To be certain, no one gets his entire supply away from him to throw down the word is waste pipe. That's an interesting word. I have never heard that. Well, I don't think I've ever heard that word used. But you got to remember, this is written in what, 1939, right? Yeah, nobody's going to get the supply away from you. To throw down the garbage disposal. Same thing, waste pipe. As matters grow worse, he begins to use a combination of high-powered sedative and liquor. Oh, yeah. Sedatives and liquor to quiet his nerves so he can go to work. Oh, yeah. I can't remember. Sedatives. Barbiturates. I guess that's the word. Then comes a day when he simply cannot make it, gets drunk all over again. Perhaps he goes to a doctor who gives him morphine. The doctor's giving out morphine. Back in the day, they did. Or some sedative with which to taper off. And then he begins to appear at hospitals and sanitariums. Sanitariums now is a treatment center. Used to call it sanitarium. This is by no means a comprehensive picture of the true alcoholic / addict, as our behavior patterns vary, but this description should identify him roughly. Yeah, it does roughly. He certainly identified me roughly. Pretty darn close. I never did get into pills or other flavors. Alcohol was my downfall, was my bane of existence. Why does he behave like this? Why do you behave like this? Why do you behave like this? If hundreds of experiences have shown you that one drink, one dose, one use, one cap means all its suffering and humiliation, why is it that he takes that again? Why can't he stay sober? What's become of the common sense and willpower that he still, or she, still sometimes displays with respect to other matters? Perhaps there will never be a full answer to these questions. Opinions vary considerably as to why the alcoholic / addict reacts differently from normal people. We're not sure why. Once a certain point is reached, little can be done for them. We cannot answer the riddle. We know that while the addict keeps away from drink or drug, as he may do for months or years, he reacts much like other men or women. We're equally positive that once he takes any alcohol or drug, whatever, into his system, something happens, both in the body and the mind, which makes it virtually impossible for them to stop. The experience of any addict will abundantly confirm that. Now, alcoholic and addict, I'm using them synonymously. Synonyms. Synonymously. All right. So anyway, bottom line is once you start going, you're going to go. And you keep going. And you keep going. And you keep going. Till you cross the lines. Crossing that line. And what did they say in NA? There's only 3 outcomes to using and your addiction. Right? You know what those are. Jail, institutions, and death. I'm familiar with all 3. Very familiar with all 3. Not just me, but someone else that I knew very intimately who was an addict. Jails, institutions, and death. And that's a fact, Jack. These observations would be academic and pointless if our friends never took the first drink, thereby setting setting the terrible cycle in motion. Therefore, the main problem of the alcoholic/addict centers in his mind or her mind rather than in their body. If you ask them why they started on the last round, the chances are they'll offer you one of 100 alibis. Sometimes these excuses have a certain plausibility, but none of them really make sense in the light of the havoc an addict's drinking, drugging creates. They sound like the philosophy of the man having a headache, beat himself on the head with a hammer so he couldn't feel the ache. If you draw this false reasoning to the attention of an alcoholic or an addict, she will laugh it off or become irritated, refuse to talk. Once in a while, they may tell the truth, and the truth, strange to say, is usually that they have no idea why they took the first drink or drug. Some have excuses with which they're satisfied part of the time. But in their hearts, they really do not know why they do it. Once this sickness has a real hold, they are baffled. There is the obsession that somehow, someday, they will beat the game. But they often suspect they are down for the count. Jail, institutions, or death. Down for the count. How true this is. Few realize. In a vague way, their families and friends sense that these people, addicts, are abnormal, but everybody hopefully waits the day when the sufferer will rouse himself from his illness and assert his power of will. The tragic truth is, if the man or woman be a real alcoholic/addict, a happy day will seldom arrive. He's lost control. They have lost control. At a certain point, they pass into a state where the most powerful desire is of absolutely, well, the desire to stop is absolutely no avail. And this tragic situation has already arrived in practically every case before it is suspected. Well, there's a lot of truth in this book. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It is great work that these folks got together and put together back in the day. Alcoholics Anonymous, big book. Well worth the investment. This is a hard copy, but they have a soft copy too, which is on Amazon. I think it's about $15. I think I looked at it last night to see how much it was. And it was redone in 2001, 25 years ago. Just my opinion, but I do think they should go through and update the language a little bit. It wouldn't hurt. First edition was in 1939. So that's why the language is a little bit antiquated, but the point's still there. It's okay. There's another book where the language is a little outdated as well. I want to get I found a copy. There's a Bible out there. Hi, Allison. that yes, I did. I fixed the chat. I did. It was a mess earlier. Yes, I did fix it. I'm glad I fixed it. Thank you. Thank you for coming by and saying hi. Appreciate it. Look at this mop, huh? Yes, I'm growing it out because at my age, I wanted my mullet back. At my age, it can go anytime. Anytime. So I said, well, this summer I'm just going to let it grow out. I'll get it trimmed a little bit, but I want to let it grow out and get the old ponytail back. Used to have a ponytail back in the 80s. Was it the 80s? Yeah, I think it was the 80s. Somewhere back then. So I want to get. I'm just going through my what do you call it? Midlife. I'm going. I'm going through my mid late life crisis. That's it. Mid late life crisis. So yeah, letting it grow out. So yeah, cut the chat fixed. Everything is fixed and running like it's supposed to right now. So what am I doing here now? Not much. Just going through the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and reading part of the chapter. There is a solution to your problem. And when it comes down to it, really, I mean, whatever, if you're facing problems, not only addiction, but other problems as well, any other problem you might have, maybe it's financial or emotional or relationships, whatever. The points that they make in the big book are points that you can take and use for any life challenge, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. It's what I believe anyway. There's great points in the book, and spiritual as well. Haven't got to that point yet in our little reading, but absolutely. And of course, you can always go to the big book. This one. For Celebrate Recovery. You can always go to this book. Realize I am not God. I admit that I am powerless to control my tendency to do the wrong thing and that my life is unmanageable. Principle 1. Also, step 1 out of the 12 steps. Right? That's the nice thing about Celebrate Recovery. They combine the 12 steps in a Christian setting, which is powerful. It's very powerful. And we can go through that as well. We got plenty of time. Right? I hope I have plenty of time. We'll go through that. After we finish the big book, we'll go over to the Celebrate Recovery Study Bible and go through that too. Okay. Eventually, we'll get there. I've got so many different things. Oh, this one is really good. I like this one. Living Sober from AA World Services. This is really a good book because it's it's fairly thin, but they have some great tips on how to live a sober life. I was going through this as well. And I don't know if you were around last night or not. But I did this the fourth. I want to say chapter, or I don't know how they have it set up actually, but the fourth point, the fourth chapter in the book, remembering that alcoholism / addiction is an incurable, progressive, and fatal disease. Catch that word, fatal? Yeah, unfortunately, it's not like, you know, it's not like getting some of these other common maladies. It is an incurable, progressive, and fatal disease. What was the other? Yeah, there's all kinds of different chapters in here. I'll do one tomorrow. We'll do one tomorrow. So, yeah, thanks for coming back, Allison. And well, you want me to do it now? I can do it now. The heck, it's early. Right? This is. I can read this one a little bit here. This is, well, sometimes you hear this expression. Used to hear it back in the day. I mean, way back. It's an old saying. Live and let live. Seems so commonplace. It's easy to overlook its value. Of course, one reason it's been said over and over for years is that it's proved beneficial in so many ways. Now, remember, this book is focusing on AA, but it doesn't matter because it works for NA and it works for alcoholism. It works for addiction of any other flavored drug that you might have a relationship with. We AAs make some special uses of it to help us not drink, use. It particularly helps us cope with people who get on our nerves. Live and let live. Reviewing once more a little of our drugging histories, many of us can see how very, very often our problem appeared to be related somehow to other people. Experimenting with alcohol, drugs in our teenage years seemed natural. Since so many others were doing it, we wanted their approval. Yeah, that's how it works. Then came weddings, bar mitzvahs, and christenings, and holidays, and football games, and cocktail parties, and business lunches. Oh, I remember the business lunches. And the list can go on and on. In all these circumstances, we drank at least partly because everybody else was drinking, and second, to expect us. I remember my boss took me out to lunch. I must have had, I don't know. I lost count at 6, I guess, drinks. And got back to the office, and that was my going away lunch. Thanks for all you do. See you later. Bye. Well, at least I had a good lunch. That was awful. That was back in the day. And then came weddings. Yeah, the whole party. The list goes on. And all those circumstances, we drank at least partly because everybody else was drinking. Yeah, that's true. Those of us who began to drink alone or to sneak a drink now and then often did so to keep some other person or people from knowing how much or how often we drank. Yeah, we hid it. We did. God, when I was drinking, I kept a Tic Tac, the company, in business. Must have. We rarely like to hear anybody else talk about our drinking. If they did, we frequently told them reasons for our drinking, as if we wanted to ward off criticism or complaints. Some of us found ourselves argumentative or even belligerent toward other people after drinking. I was never that way when I was younger, but when I got older, I started to get belligerent for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it comes with age. Yet others of us felt that we really got along better with people after a drink or two, whether it was a social evening, a tent sale, or a job interview. Yep, that, all of that. Or even making love. Yep. That bottle of champagne. What is that champagne? Oh, Dom Perignon. That's right. Remember that? Our drinking caused many of us to choose our friends according to how much they drank. We even changed friends when we felt we had outgrown their drinking styles. We preferred real drinkers to people who just took one or two, and we tried to avoid teetotalers or sober people. You excuse me for a minute because my allergy is kicking in and I must take care of that. Bear with me while I do that. I didn't want me to be blowing my nose in your ear. I don't know why my allergies. I never used to get allergies. Now I get allergies. What's going on? So anyway, yeah, we just to appreciate him. And many of us were guilty and angry about the way our family reacted to our drinking or drugging. Well, yeah. Some of us lost jobs because wasn't I just talking about that? Or a colleague at work objected to our drinking. Yep. We wish people would mind their own business and leave us alone. Well, yeah, we sure felt that way, didn't we? Often we felt angry and fearful, even toward people who had not criticized us. Our guilt made us extra sensitive to those around us, and we nursed grudges. Sometimes we changed bars, changed jobs, or moved to new neighborhoods just to get away from certain persons. Yeah, I did that. Absolutely. That was in my crazy days. Crazy days. And get out my guitar and play one of my favorite songs that I dedicate to myself, written by Willie Nelson, sung by Patsy Cline back in the day, called Crazy. That's my theme song from back then. Not so much now. I mean, I'm a little bit, yeah, but not so much now. Back in the day, though, Crazy. Yeah. So a great number of people besides ourselves were in one way or another involved in our drinking or drugging to some degree. When we first stopped drinking, it was a great relief to find that people we met in AA or NA, Celebrate Recovery, recovered alcoholics, drug addicts, seemed to be quite different. They reacted to us not with criticism and suspicion, but with understanding and concern. Why? Because we've been there. However, it's perfectly natural. We still encounter some people who get on our nerves, both within AA and other organizations. We may find that our non AA friends, coworkers, or family members still treat us as if we were drinking. It may take them a little while to believe that we've really stopped. Yeah, it does take some time. It really does. After all, they may have seen us stop many times in the past just to start again. Yeah, I think I did that more than once. The point is, you have it in your mind to stop. And even if you stop and relapse and then stop again, then you're at least on your way, right? You can stop and relapse and stop and relapse and stop and relapse. The point is, you're stopping. You know you got to stop, right? Okay. To begin to put our concept of live and let live into practice, we must face this fact. There are people in AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, everywhere, who sometimes say things that we disagree with or do things we don't like. Learning to live with differences is essential to our comfort. It's exactly in those cases that we have found it extremely helpful to say to ourselves, oh, well, live and let live. In fact, in AA, much emphasis is placed on learning how to tolerate other people's behavior. However offensive or distasteful it may seem to us, it's certainly not worth drinking about or drugging over. Our own recovery is too important. Addiction can and does kill, we recall. Yeah, it does. All right, so on that note, which is somewhere around a B flat, let's see. I think we're going to wrap it up for this evening. And I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I lose track sometimes. That's the alcohol. That's it's not the age, it's the alcohol. It's the aged alcohol. I lose track sometimes what day it is. That's awful, isn't it? It's terrible to be retired. But anyway, no, I know tomorrow's Friday. And I'll be back tomorrow evening. And we can do it all over again. Chit chat a little bit. We talk about recovery if you want to, or anything else you want to talk about. I'm here. Awesome, like my daughter. There's an S. Whoops. S over here. S that they left off. Awesome, like my daughters. And thank you for being here. And remember, trust God, clean house, and help others. Okay? Somebody out there loves you. We'll see you tomorrow.